So I've always maintained that language shapes thought. I made that video a while ago, pretty controversial, where I talked about how math, at least the way math is spoken and written in Chinese, makes it easier. But beyond that, there's other things about language that changes and shapes how people think. For example, there's certain words, certain concepts that are not even existing in certain languages. Some languages have more words to describe family, describe certain feelings of the community that don't exist in Western languages. Certain languages have more words to describe persistence and sort of entrepreneurial energy. These are words that don't exist in certain Eastern cultures. So I've always wanted to make a video about this, and this is for another video. But I saw a clip from the Laugh Factory from this guy named Tatara. I assume he's half Japanese, and he's not talking about language per se as in the diction, but he's talking more about the grammar of language and how depending on where the verb and the noun, etc. is, it changes how people learn to listen. So listen to this clip really quickly and we'll break it down.
I really learned some stuff about Japan. Like, going as an adult, like, I had a different perspective, you know? I think I figured out why they're so smart. Like, you ever wonder why they invent all that technology and all, like, the cool little things? It's because they're good listeners. That's all it is. If you watch conversations, no matter what people are saying, they're always very focused. They're always like, ooh. Oh, like they're discovering things. Oh. Makes you feel good. You're like, I'm saying some shit. You see that? I just blew this old Asian dude's mind. But then I figured out why they do that, because I started learning how to speak Japanese, right? And the sentence structure, the grammar is all scrambled compared to English. So sometimes the verb is at the end of the sentence. So you gotta listen to like the whole thing just to know what they're saying, right? It'd be like if I said to you, yesterday, I, at the store, many hats stole. You'd be like, oh, oh, oh. Right? I could have said bought, sold, tried on. You don't know. It's like a little mystery in Japanese.
So KT only hit at the surface because not only is Japanese a subject and then the verb is at the end. So the Japanese language is also called an agglutinative language. In other words, it's a language where you change the word to indicate different meaning. English is the same. For example, I go versus I went. The conjugation, all of that stuff, that doesn't happen in Chinese. For example, the word for go or went is all chu. It's chu. It's just you add other characters around chu to indicate tense, etc. But in Japanese, it's not the case. You add something to the word, kind of like conjugating in Spanish. For example, ir or boy, or, you know, bas, etc., right? You're adding to a word. It's not one word, like chu, that you add other words to indicate. So like KT's example, you don't know if someone said stole or wore or saw, right? You don't know what the verb is, but on top of that, even if he said stole, you don't know if he's trying to say stolen or will steal, you see? So not only is the verb at the end, but the conjugation to the verb. So the tense of the verb is also at the end. So like KT says, imagine a culture where you don't find out key pieces of information from a sentence until the end. It trains people to say, okay, well, I gotta listen to this person. I can't interrupt him. You know, I always tell you guys, don't interrupt people when they talk. Imagine in Japan, you interrupt them in the middle, they basically haven't even said anything. So, for all of you watching this channel, especially we have so many different people from so many different parts of the world, let them finish their fucking thoughts. I'm serious. Because some of them might come from a culture where their native language, the language they grew up speaking, maybe some of the emphasis, some of the key information is at the end. So that's how they think, that's how they speak English. They sometimes put some things, whether they're arguing, so in a more macro sense or in a micro sense, when they're coming up with a sentence, they sometimes put key stuff at the end. Remember, guys, we're here to learn. We're here to understand each other so we don't fucking destroy this planet. So let's remember, some cultures are more listening based. Some cultures, like our culture, American cultures, a little bit more, what do you call it? That's why it's so important to learn at least one or two other languages, man. It helps you develop empathy. With language comes culture. With culture comes understanding. With understanding comes empathy. Okay, guys, I'm done with my rant. Thank you so much. And by the way, I reached out to KT, so I hope I can do a video with KT. That would be so cool. Imagine the two of us doing a dating show review or something. Okay, talk to you guys soon.